Hello and welcome back to my Tarot Corner. So before I start, let's start with congratulations for the winners of the big tarot giveaway. And the winners are number one, Average Rando, number two, Angela Rancher, and number three, Jerry Jordan. I said that on my community page as well, but I know that many of you do not see my community page because those who have iPads don't see community pages. So I am saying it here as well. So if any of you want to get your prize, please send me your mailing address in an email. You can find my email in my description box. And those of you, which is Average Rando and Jerry Jordan, who did not select a deck that you wanted, please do. Just to let you know, Angela Rencher wanted her first pick was Magical Dogs, and her second pick was the Archetype by Caroline Mass. But I will probably send her the Magical Dogs. So just try not to ask for one of those, but feel free to ask whatever you want, and we'll see how we deal with that. So anyway, congratulations. Don't worry, since I have so many decks that I still have to give away, and still I am collecting more. There will be other giveaways in the future, and we'll see where we are, where and when, and for what occasion we will do the next one. Okay, so this reading is something that I was asked to do by one of my subscribers, and we are getting close to Christmas, and I decided to take out my Christmas decks, and since this month I'm starting with my Rider-Waite decks, and this one is a Christmassy Rider-Waite deck. I decided to do the reading with this deck. Now, this is a deck that is made by a very, very creative person that I believe his name is James Battersea, but you can find his creations in a tarot collected, wait a minute, collectibles, tarot collectibles. And he's doing not only tarot decks, he's doing also the Norman decks, and now he started doing Vera Sibilla decks. So he is very, very creative, and he's doing all sorts of decks, and this is my Christmassy tarot deck. So I'm going to use it to look into the Sussexes Christmas card this year. And I was thinking about which spread will help me most to look into that, and decided to use the horseshoe spread. Now, there are several variations to the horseshoe spread, and I'm just using one of those, which seems to me that will give us the best look at all of the energies that around the these, well, around this question. So let's look at Harry and Meghan's this year Christmas card. Are they going to do this? And if they are, is there going to be any kind of surprise in it? So let's look what are the obstacles that are in their way. Let's look what can we see around Harry and Meghan's Christmas card. So before I start, please take a few moments to read my full disclaimer in the description card, in the description box. This is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to interpretation. It exists as assumptions and speculation, and as such may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourself. Okay, let's clear the deck. And let's start. What can we see around Harry and Meghan's this year Christmas card? Are they going to do a Christmas card this year? Is there going to be any kind of surprise this year? What are the obstacles in their way? What can we see around Harry and Meghan's Christmas card this year? Okay, so I am cutting the deck, and the first card in an horseshoe spread is always the distant or recent past. And I'm looking at the distant past because I'm looking at last year. And what I'm getting here is the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is the night of fantasizing. And last year when they did their Christmas card, first of all, we saw that it was photoshopped. It was a fantasy card. It was we saw so many signs on that card that it was not a real card. I mean, if you look very good at that card, there are so many signs there. One thing, for example, if you look at there's a cupboard there, and with a glass door, and if you look at the glass door, there's a horse. That you can see a horse shadow on it. So where this horse shadow come from? If you look at Lilibet legs, for example, if you look at Harry's hair and Archie's hair, they are exactly the same color. I mean, that card was a fantasy. They were trying to show us a fantasy. Meghan was holding Lilibet exactly the same way as Diana herself was holding Harry when he was a baby. That was all a fantasy. So they were trying to sell us a fantasy. And that was last year's card. Now, I'm going to go to the archetype of this, not archetype, the affinity of this card. And it has nothing more to add to what I said. So this is what I can tell you about last year's card. Okay, what can we see about the immediate present? What are they thinking about this year's card? What are their plans for this year card? Are they planning a card this year? And what I'm getting is the world. So first of all, they want something perfect. The World card is a card of perfection. This is a card of getting something perfect. As you can see down here, happy holidays. This is even the card. This is even a card that is saying happy holidays. This is a card that is telling us that they will try to get the most perfect card they can this year. This is what they are shooting for. This is what they are trying to achieve. The most perfect thing that they can, and they need to understand two things. First of all, this is an end of a year and a beginning of a new year. And things are ending and things are also beginning. This can be a very difficult ending of their relationship with the royal family. And everything that they are doing can signal a very difficult ending of their relationship with the royal family. And maybe nobody will be interested in their very perfect card. Maybe they will have nobody to send it for. Now, this card has an affinity of a burnout and of getting bored. Now, this is something that both of them need to take into attention. Not only they themselves getting bored from one another, but they are in a danger of getting the world bored of them. And this is why we get the World card here, because they are exposing themselves in the Netflix series. They are exposing themselves to the world. They are showing themselves to the world. They will be probably exposing a lot in that Christmas card as well, because they will have to, in order to attract people to see the Netflix series, in order to attract people to buy Harry's book. And they are in danger of a burnout, of getting people bored of them, people of just overexposure, it's called. And this is something that they need to be very careful of. But right now, they are planning the perfect card. This is what they are now planning. This is what they are thinking of. So that's the present. So what can we see for the immediate future? And the immediate future is for how will the card be accepted by the world. And what we're getting here is the Five of Swords. So this is not a great acceptance. The Five of Swords is a card that says that they will have to work very hard in order to get people interested in their card, interested in them totally. The Five of Swords is a card that speaks about sitting on a fence, not being active, expecting for things to happen by themselves, just because you are a prince, just because you are you, just because you have your legacy. But this is not the way things work, not in show business, and not in the world as a whole. And Prince William, for example, has already figured that out. He knows that he has to do things in order to gain what he wants to achieve. Harry hasn't. Now, the Five of Swords is telling him that if he wants people to listen to him, if he wants people to buy his products, if he wants people to look at his Christmas card, he needs to get off the fence and start doing things. He needs to get active. He needs to start peddling. He needs to really, really ask people to do things for him. He needs to really expose himself even more. He needs to expose his children. This card will have to be a card that shows the children in a whole, not the way that they did up until today. Show the children really like the way that William and Catherine show the children. Really show the family as a family, and not expect people to like the creativity of the card and just say that it's nice and beautiful and appreciate it like that, and that's it, because it will not work. They have a lot to work for in order to get what they want to achieve. Now, I'm going to look into the affinities of this card. And this card has an affinity of people who are not taking chances, people who are letting others decide for them, people who are aloners, people who are never satisfied of what they have, which is a very good way to describe the Sussexes. And if they will not get over that, they will never succeed. So that's the near future. The next card is, what are their current pressing personal issues? And what I'm getting here is the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is a card of planning and of strategy. This is a card that says that right now they are in a planning mode. Right now they are doing a lot of planning, a lot of strategizing of how to beat the Waleses, how to beat the royal family, how to get Harry's book to sale, how to get the Netflix show to be more attractive. They right now very much thinking and strategizing, and as I said previously, I believe that what happened this week with Lady Hassie is also part of their strategy, not hers, because her strategies never work. But she showed that because she bet on the wrong horse. She bet on them, and because of that, she won't succeed. But this was part of their strategy, and their strategy of showing the world that there is racism in the royal family, and that's why they deserve the Ripple of Hope award, as they are going to accept that and not stay home like some people thought. And this is showing that right now they are doing a lot of strategizing. They are right now very, very occupied with how to rebrand themselves, rebuild their brand, how to rebuild their the brand called Harry and Meghan, because they know that from now on, they will have to sell themselves a lot stronger than they did when they just left the royal family. They know that they did not supply the goods as they thought they would when they just left. They know that Spotify is not satisfied. They know that Netflix is not satisfied. They know that they failed. They know that. And they are right now thinking about what can they do, how can they succeed, what can they do in order to succeed. And the Christmas card is part of that. So they are strategizing. They are trying to do to think about the best way of showing themselves in a better light. And the affinity of this card is manipulation, it's masquerading, and the tendency to act on on their own. And this is something that is going to be very, very divisive between themselves and between them and the people that work in Archwell, because they have a problem in working together with other people and working together, especially Meghan has a problem in working together with other people. And she's a manipulator. She is someone who is masquerading herself as someone she's not. And this card shows that she has a tendency to just deceive people and not to listen to other people's advice and not to work with people, but to try and to work by herself. And this card shows that despite the fact that they know that they need help, Meghan is going to be a very difficult person that is not going to allow other people to help them. And she will not be able to listen to good advice that other people say, because she wants everything to come from her, that she will be able to take the credit for everything that comes out. So that is the current pressing personal issues. The next card is the attitude of a close person of importance. Now, because we are talking about the Sussexes, both of them, so the close person that we can look at his or her attitude, I will look at Doria and what Doria, because she's probably the only person that is still close to them, at what is her attitude and what does she think. And she is the Empress and she is the mother, and she is right now saying thank you to her daughter that is willing to accept her, and she will not say anything against her daughter. The Empress is the mother that is willing to give everything and will do everything for her daughter. She will not say one thing against her daughter. She will give everything just for the fact that her daughter will be there for her. So I was asking about the attitude of Doria, and Doria is the yes woman. And this is what the Empress card here is telling us. And that's why we got the Empress. And when I thought about this spread from at the beginning, I wasn't even thinking about Doria, but I just, because when I saw that question, I thought about who can I think about that is still close to the Sussexes And because of that Zoom call that we saw with Doria, I said, okay, so let's see how Doria feels about that. And Doria will say yes to everything that Meghan is saying. So that's Doria, and Doria will not be, she will not be the one to tell Meghan that she's wrong. Okay, so what are the possible obstacles that are standing in their way? And what we're getting here is the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords, and you can see that in this Queen of Swords, there is no child here. Remember, in my previous reading, with the Queen of Swords, there was a child here. Here, there is no child. And the Queen of Swords is the queen that Meghan wants to be seen as. She wants to be seen as the idealistic woman, as someone who cares about the world, cares about social questions. She cares about everyone and everything. She cares about climate change. She cares about everything. She would self-sacrifice herself, and she wants it to be seen in the Christmas cards and in Harry's book and in everything that they spread about themselves. But this is the obstacle. So what does it show us? It shows us that she is disconnected from reality, that she is that she doesn't see reality, that she is completely disconnected from reality, and that she has no real sexual attraction, that she is lacking any intimacy, and that she doesn't really know who she is. This is the obstacles that are attached to the Queen of Swords. Now I'm going to look into the affinities of this card. And the affinity of this card doesn't help me in any way. So what I can say about the obstacles is that she wants to be seen as this very woman who thinks about justice and social justice, and she wants to be seen as someone who cares about everything and everyone, and she's actually not that person. And as you can see, there is no child here. So that child that I saw in the previous card, it was very telling. It wasn't just a child. Okay. Then the next card is the anticipated result of that Christmas card. How will it be received? What will we see in it? And the card that I'm getting is the King of Wands. So this card will show us, first of all, it will be something that will be very fast, very let's say, warm. I can say that it will be even very dominated by the red color. I think that both Harry and Meghan, and not Meghan, I'm sorry, both Harry, Archie, and Lilibet will have red hair there. And I think that this card will show, it will show some kind of lack of intimacy, because the King of Wands is a king that starts things. He's the initiator. He starts things very good, but he's never ends them. So we will see a capture of a moment, but we won't see a happy family, because they won't be able to proceed into a good family moment. So we will see them all together, but it won't be received very well because the King of Wands is irritated and gets angry very easily. So this card will produce a lot of anger and a lot of irritation through people that will see that, but it will also produce a lot of anger and irritation between themselves. So they are shooting the card, so what I believe is that they will start shooting the card, and they will start, arguing, and then Meghan will say something to the photographer, just take the shot and that's it. And he will take the shot, and the best shot that will come out is the one that will be used as the Christmas card. And of course, a lot of Photoshop will be used to paint the color of the hair. And that's what I think will be in the Christmas card. Okay, so this is it regarding the tarot, and I'm using the crystal grid oracle that I love using for Christmas, and I truly hope that the other crystal oracle that I ordered arrives before Christmas, because I do want to have something more to use during Christmas time. So let's clear the deck. Okay, so Harry and Meghan's Christmas card. Harry and Meghan's Christmas card. Harry and Meghan's Christmas card. And what I'm getting here is soul healing, something that they really need. And let's see, what does the book say about that? So this is the tangerine quartz, which is said that it's a powerful tool for healing the soul. It is said to help with trauma or shock of any kind, soul retrieval and past life healing, and can show the soul how to see the positive in the lessons it learns. Wow, Harry really needs that. Shamans believe that when we experience trauma or shock, a part of our soul fragments or remains stuck in that time of our life. If you have ever felt you haven't seen the same, you haven't been the same since a certain event happened in your life, it could be a good opportunity to journey back to that event and bring that part of your soul home. Sometimes we can be reliving our past life energy as well. So that's about helping in trauma. What else it can help with is with creativity, and this is something that the Sussexes need very much. So they need the tangerine quartz if they want to succeed with healing their pain, their trauma, and regaining creativity. So this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.